It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll see Tremaine Edmonds, who had a strong showing last week with an 8-tackle game. It's the Bears and the Broncos. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
They say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Bears team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their third-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Justin Fields.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown pass.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Back to throw, Fields. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on third down, Fields. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Baron Browning drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up fourth down. On fourth down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. Back deep for Denver, the rookie Marvin Mims. Let's take it inside his own 40. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading them out, the fifth-year Auburn alum got his first career starts last season. Here's Jarrett Stidham.
And what a performance in his last game. A couple of touchdown passes. That was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a second down and 6. Again, it's Williams. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That burst good for 20 and a first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield and get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Play action. It's Stidham. Into the hands of Patrick left side. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now it's Stidham. Escaping the pressure right. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper in the territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing. They had a good chance to get the first points of the game on the board, but what a great job defensively, getting a hand in there, knocking it away, and preventing that first touchdown.
Troutman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game.
Here we go.
And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Now it's Fields. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Fielded at about the 28. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense getting set again. We spotlight Javonte Williams, the running back. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're getting. So I wouldn't have any doubt that the head coach, offensive coordinator, actually called him in and said, look, you're our guy, okay? We're going to continue to stick with this as long as we're winning games. You ready for the challenge? And then they presented it to the rest of the team. I think we'll see plenty of that as this season moves on.
And I'm sure he said challenge accepted. 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Stidham. Flushed out right. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. On 4th down, it's Riley Dixon on now to kick it away for Denver. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Here's Jones on the return. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. The numbers for him from a week ago: 14 carries, 57 yards.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus, getting some extra yardage with every carry he receives this week.
You look at this Bronco defense, currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Fields now to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Singletary going to get the handoff. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. This defense for the Broncos, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Fields. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Now Andy Lee will come on to punt this one away. And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And he will not make it. They stop him short of the first down. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Broncos will take over on downs. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now it's Stidham. Screenplay set up for Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
Here's Jones. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Here we go.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He'll buy some time right. Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10. They'll toss this right side to Singletary. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what...
Fields hit and the ball is loose. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Here's the veteran punter Lee as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Off the play fake, here's Stidham. Nowhere to go here, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Bears. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. They'll start out here with the option left. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Justin Fields, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bears are an extra point away from drawing level. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From his end zone, Marvin Mims. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So the Broncos coming out now. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. They run it again with Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. The Broncos at 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they move back above 500 with a victory last week.
And you look at their start, a win, a loss, then a win. This might be something we see from them a lot this year, because when they're at their best, they can play with anybody. But bringing their best every week, that's been a challenge thus far.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. And there's Jaquan Brisker getting to him behind the line. Great play by the safety. Now Stidham. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know, is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Stidham. Flush to his right. But he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
3rd and 2, now Stidham rolling to his left. He'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Here's Stidham to throw. It's complete to Williams. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Throwing again here, Stidham. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, had forced the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
The kick by Lutz is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, They just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bears going to get one more possession in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Now Fields. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Quan Williams. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The kick by Lutz is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Here's Jones to bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as we say goodbye to September and take a look around the NFL here on this first day of October. We'll start up at Highmark Stadium, just outside of Buffalo. And it's the Bills who have the lead in that one. Khalil Shakir, a touchdown reception. From there, we move to H-Town to check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they've got the lead in their matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Tank Dell, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And that one, all tied. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be... These two teams currently going over their final halftime adjustments. We are just about set to get back to it in the second half. And for the call, let's go back to Soldier Field and Brandon Gaudin.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Second down, Stidham to throw. This is caught by Williams. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Denver. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40, the 40-yard line. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the third quarter. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Baron Browning able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force 4th down.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They were winners over the Dolphins last week. They are on top right now as well as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. A little juke, and he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 88 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams. It's Dominic Robinson who comes in and makes a play.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
He's got it to Williams. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. They go play action now. Stidham. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. 4th down. Here's Stidham. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Broncos 1st down, and he'll have it by plenty as it turns out to be a big gainer there on 4th down. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Touchdown, Broncos! Tim Patrick, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos are able to add on to that lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
To review the play,
here's the call.
ruling on the field
Sean Payton
stands.
going to say, let's go for 2 on this one. Stidham going to look to throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll throw from the gun. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. A handoff on the option to Singletary. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Singletary going to get the handoff. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 14 yards in a Chicago 1st down. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now Fields, and his pass incomplete.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down. No, Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now Stidham, off play action, sliding out of the pocket. This will be caught. Judy. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 104 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Now a 2nd and 2. Stidham. This one swung out to Williams. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he will have a Broncos first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front. And it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. They run with a former Bengal. It's Samaje Perine. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. Here's Stidham. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Jaquan Brisker getting sent on the safety blitz, and he was able to finish it off. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Up the middle, it's Williams. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Broncos have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And a Greg Dulcich touchdown reception finished that drive off. And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
He'll get this out wide to Singletary. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. I've worked with you long enough now to know you like that decision. Go safe, pressure coming, hit your guy underneath.
It's an excellent decision, but he knew it came with consequences, and that's him getting hit on.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 4th down, Fields has to have this one. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. On 1st down, it's Fields. His throw incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
Here we go.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Right.
To the air again, Fields. In trouble, and he's taken down. The decision made for him. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
Right.
They snap it to Fields. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kwan Williams. And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them in just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for Denver, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. And for